This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So let's see our one of the very crucial and critical topic today, that is enhanced user security with Sudo. In yesterday's class, guys, we have done with ACL on a file, how you can control access from different users and different groups. Today, we are going to learn how to control a user to run commands in the system. So you can just consider this as the most biggest version of ACL. ACL works only with a file or directory, but in the entire system, if you wanted to allow certain commands or deny certain commands to some users, how could you do that? It is possible only with sudo. See, what happens in most of the organization is we don't give root access to everyone. Okay, root access is restricted only for certain users. Now, if you are a member of a team, you will be given your name and credential. You have to log in and you have to work. But guys, what you have to do in admin tasks, if you have been given a normal user privilege, you can work as a normal user. You cannot do installation of software. You cannot do LVM. You cannot create a users, right? You cannot go for SUID, SGID, all those concepts. Maybe SUID, SGID, as per your level, you may apply it. But there are many things what you cannot do. So how a normal user, after logging with his or her personal credential, will be allowed to do admin task. So if you want to allow a normal super user do or substitute user do, the way you look it. So normally when a normal user tries to run a command, this picture or this cartoon represents a simple message how sudo works. A guy on left is telling make me a sandwich and the right one is telling what? Make it yourself. But on the other hand, again, he is telling the same thing with sudo power and the other guy is telling okay. So this is what happened. When a normal user tried to run an admin command, it would get rejected as he is not an admin. But the same command, when he run with sudo as a prefix, sudo user add, sudo user mod, sudo xyz, then the commands will be accepted. So a normal user, if he or she wants to do an admin task, they need to do it with the help of sudo. But it does not mean that any user can do anything in the system with sudo prefix. No, there is a file in the system which is etc sudoers. Now this file controls which user can run what commands in the system. Either you can make a user complete administrator like root, or you can give only limited access whatever you are interested with. For example, you can give storage team only storage related commands like fdisk, parted, etc. Network team, you can only give network related access. So either you can give limited set of access or make a user completely same like root administrator. Now there can be a question in interviews that how you can make a normal user admin user in Linux. The answer is with the help of sudo. Now you should not edit this file directly. Instead, you should use a command vi sudo. See, you should not use VI editor, Nano, or any other editor directly to edit the file. Instead, we should prefer, you can do it that also. There is no strict ruling, but I'm just showing you the best practice. There are two practice, what you like and the other one is best practice. So best practice is to edit it using VI Sudo. Why? See, it also gave me VI editor. Then what's the benefit of going with the VI Sudo and not editing directly? See, if you edit the file directly with any editor, and suppose you have done mistake in the configuration, so it is not going to tell you that there is a mistake. But same thing if you do with vi sudo. Suppose you have said vi sudo, file opened, you made a mistake. Now you are trying to save with a mistake, so it will stop you and tell you that there is a mistake you have done in so and so line number. What you want to do now? You can say Q, quit with errors, but that would be a bad practice. Or you can say E, go back and edit the place where you have done a mistake. So this is the benefit of using vi sudo on the top of any normal editor. Normal editor does not catch any syntax mistakes what you have done in the file, whereas vi sudo will catch those errors and tell you, right? Fine. Now in sudoer files, there are three things what can be controlled. See, you can control which user can run what commands from what terminals. Which user from which terminal can run what commands. Now guys, I want you to ignore terminal because it is very tough to guess on which terminal which user will be logging. Terminals are like seats. Whoever comes first will get that seat. There is no guarantee that always Shabir will log in terminal 0 or Satya will log in terminal 3 or Lani will log in on terminal 5. We cannot guarantee it. Whoever first come, whoever log in first will get their respective terminal. So we are going to concentrate on which user can run what commands. We leave access on all terminals. So let me log in into the system and let me show you our first example, how to make a user as a complete administrator like root. So let me log in into the system first of all. Now I have a user. In fact, I have set of users in which I'm taking a user, my user. Now my user, I want to give full administrative rights. How can I do that? One way is you can directly edit the file, or the best practices says that you should go with vi sudo. Now when you open the file with vi sudo, say even if you are interested to go for certification, these all things will be asked in certification: SUID, SGID, sticky bit, ACLs, and sudo. So these are important tasks, and also as per our working environments, we need to know these concepts very well. So let me go to the bottom of this file. Now this file has been crafted so beautifully, you don't need any instructor to explain the concept. There are lots and lots of examples are present, lots of information is present, and we are going to do nothing but copy paste, the most easiest thing to work with. Copy paste and make the changes, that's it. So I'll go to end of the file by pressing Shift G. It takes me to the end of the file. Now over here you can see there is an example: allow root to run any command anywhere. Now what is the syntax? Root user from all terminals can run all command, right? So I'll also follow the same example. I'll simply come up over here, I'll copy the line and I'll paste it. Now instead of root, I'll say my user from all terminals can run all commands. Now my user will get access to all the command. He become administrator to go anywhere in the system and perform any task. Let us save and quit and see we have done any syntax mistake. No. If there is any syntax mistake, it would stop us and tell us. So there is no mistake. Let me go with another terminal and let me log in as my user. Now let me give the password. I have logged in. Now who am I? My user. Let me try some admin commands directly. It says you are not allowed to run this command. You run parted-l, it says you're not allowed. You run pvs command, it says your non-root user functionality is not available, permission denied. So these are all admin related stuff a normal user cannot run directly. Same commands, I'm going to say sudo and the command. See, for the very first time, whenever you are using sudo access, it is going to stop you and give you a small lecture. Respect the privacy of other. Think before you type, and with great power comes great responsibility. So it is just making you realize that some important power has been given to you to not misuse it. And it is confirming you that you are the same user to continue. Before giving you access, one more security check. It is asking you to type your password to confirm that you are my user. So let me type my password and hit enter. See, the command that I was not able to run earlier, I'm able to run with the help of sudo. Same thing I'm going to do. I'll say sudo parted -l. And you see, I'm able to get the access to parted command. Same thing you wanted to do with any other command. You see, no error. It says no output. That is no PV available. So this is the way how you can get access to all the commands. But it is not like that, that no one is watching you. You can run any command wherever you want. See, all the commands you are running with sudo privilege will be stored in a file. There is a log file, which I have also mentioned in the manual. So I'll go with tail and last 15 lines in var log secure. Now in this log file, generally user information will be stored. When you logged in, the password was accepted. Then you have run sudo command. What command you have run? You have run fdisk, then you have run parted, then you have run pvs. So like that, it will store the information that which user at what time has run what sudo access command. That's the way these things will be working. So all your activities will be stored in var log secure. Now, as I told you that var log secure is a general log where whenever you do some activity, you logged in, you run something, these information get stored in this secure file. So every time if I want to view sudo logs, then maybe I need to say grep sudo logs in var log secure. Then it will show me all the sudo access what I have done. Instead of this, I wanted to create a separate file where only sudo access should be copied. So basically, logs are generated in var log secure only. But from this file, I want to copy or redirect sudo access commands to a separate file. I need a separate sudo access file. How can I get a separate sudo access file? See, by passing one parameter. Normally, the logs are getting stored in var log secure. In etc sudo files, you can pass this parameter defaults log file equals var log sudo.log. Now, when you pass this parameter, all the sudo activities will get stored under that file. So let me just go to vi sudo as root. You can put this particular parameter anywhere you like, in the top of the file, in the bottom of the file, wherever. I'm putting at the bottom. I'm passing the parameter defaults log file equals to var log. All the logs get stored in var log, so we are also storing it in var log location only with the name sudo.log. Let me save and quit. Now you try to say var log sudo.log. There is no such file. That's fine. Now what I'll do, I'll go back to my user and let me run some command. Sudo, maybe some different commands I'll try. We have not yet tried our hand on these commands, but we are going to learn in the coming times. So please don't worry, what is this command? I'm just trying random commands to see all commands are working or not. I'll say sudo route, it's working. Sudo fdisk, it's working. Sudo parted, it's working. Now go back and again try to read the same file. See, this time the file got created and it is storing all sudo activities. Guys, this is most convenient thing. If you don't do that, every time you have to grep or you need to search the sudo activity from varlog secure. If you do like this, then all the sudo activities are kept in a separate configuration file, right? That would be very convenient and handy. Okay, now last time we made just one single user as admin to um, this particular sudo access. Now, what if you have multiple users, 10 users, 15 users, 20 users to give power of sudo, right? So what I'm going to do in this scenario is the simplest thing. See, if you have 10 users, you can give 10 rules in vi sudo, right? U1, U2, U3, U4, U5, QDEF, Satya, Shabir, all you can maintain separate lines. But guys, if you have to give same set of commands to all 10 users, will it not be good or will it not be and smart work to make a group, add 10 members into that group and give access to that group? Instead of making 10 users separately as an admin, make a group as an admin. Whoever takes part to that group, they'll become admin. If you remove the member from that group, they'll be an ordinary user. See, I'll tell you that there is one group in the system called wheel. If you just check it out, etc group, these are system admin group. If you add any member into wheel group, the user will get all sudo access. So by default, sudo file has wheel group information to make any members. So if a question asks in interview that what is a default admin group in Linux? So it is wheel group. If you add a member into wheel group, they'll automatically get all sudo access. But anyway, I don't want to use that. Maybe I have a different requirement. So I want to use my separate group and I want to make it as an administrative group. So first of all, let me see, do I have a group with some member? No, I have groups, but there are no members inside it. Like I have SAP GRP. Maybe I will add U1, U2, U3, all the three members into this group. So I'll go for adding a members, G password, add multiple members, U1, U2, U3 in SAP GRP. Or did I made any mistake? Oh, spelling mistake, no problem. G password. Now if I go with tail etc group, now you see there are three members which are part of SAP GRP group. Great, fine. Now let's make this SAP GRP as an admin group. To make this member as an admin group, I'll go to vi sudo and go to bottom of the file shift G. Just below the rule what you have created, you can see there is one more rule, allows people in group wheel to run all commands. So another example I got, group wheel members from all terminals can run all commands. So what I'm going to do over here, I'll just copy that rule, YY and paste P. Now you see there is a difference between a username and a group name. Username does not start with a percentile symbol, whereas the name of the group you have to start with percentile. If you don't use percentile, it will be treated as username. So as ours is a group, I'm not going to remove percentile. I'll keep percentile and I'll say SAP GRP. All the members of SAP GRP are now going to have full access. They are going to have full access, guys. Let me save and quit. Now let me log in as one of the member. Let me set a password for U1 and let me log in as U1. Let me take a duplicate session for U1 and let me give a password. Now, if I say sudo, normally if you run a command, it would get rejected. Same command you can try with fdisk-l. So you see first time the information will be asked, you'll type the password and you see the command is able to execute. Now you can run any command of your choice, sudo route or sudo um, netstat-ntlp. Different commands I'm trying and you see all commands are able to work. So this is the way how you can allow people to run any command anywhere as a user or as a group. When you have a bunch of user, better to make a group as a group admin and admin group, I'm sorry, and allow people to run whatever commands you wanted to allow. Now, one more thing you can do, you see, if I log out and again log in as U1 or any other user, and if I use sudo, it would again ask for password. See what happens whenever for the first time you are trying to run sudo act command, it will ask for password. If you leave the terminal unattended for 5 minutes or 6 minutes, and again you are trying to run sudo command, it will prompt for password. So as a security measure, sudo password will be, I mean, user password will be prompted for sudo access every time you log out and log in and you have kept the terminal unattended. Now guys, I want to remove these restrictions of password. Whenever a user is running sudo command, it should not ask for password, neither for first time nor for every idle time. So what can be done? Go to vi sudo shift G. See, last time you made the rule over here. Just see below there is one more example, how beautiful it is. Same thing without password. So what is the change you see? No password, then all. That means it is telling that do not ask for password for all the commands that are being executed. So I'm going to say no password for all commands. Let me save and quit. Now let me log in as one of the member of that user, U1. All members will get same benefit. Now I'll try sudo fdisk-l. Has it asked for password? Right? You say sudo parted-l. Has it asked for password? No. So this is the way you can remove the password prompting if you don't want that password prompting to be removed. In few cases like Ansible automation and all, this no password is really helpful. But in most of the cases for server hardening, I prefer password to be asked because we don't want people to have free access. It may happen that people might gain access somehow. They don't know the password. So as a security measure, I still wanted to go with password prompting. In few exceptional cases, if you want, you can keep no password so that the password should not be prompted to the user or the group members whenever you are running sudo access. Now, let us say that I don't want to give full command access. Suppose there is a group which belongs to a storage group. So storage group only require fdisk parted, maybe mount command or mkfs command. They don't need access for the whole system. See, if someone wants to access your system only for a specific purpose, why to give complete access? Don't you think that is worthless? So what I want to do is I want to limit or restrict the group or user only to run a couple of commands, not more than that. Restrict it only till few commands what is required by that user or group. First of all, I should find commands location. How to find the command location? We learned which. I'll say which, whatever command, which parted, and which may be mount. These three commands I wanted to allow to this particular group called SAP GRP. What's the location? USR sbin fdisk, USR sbin parted, and USR bin mount. Now you have to take that pain of remembering the path. So let me go back to vi sudo one more time. Let's go to the bottom of the file, and here is our SAP GRP. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say that this time you're not going to get all command access. I'll say you're going to get the first command usr sbin fdisk. Then the second command usr sbin parted. You see I'm giving a comma and space. So comma and space, that is important. So second command, comma and space. Then I'll put the third command, that is usr bin mount, then comma and a space, comma and a space. Like that, you have to give all the commands that you wanted to allow for this particular user or a group. It can be given to a user or it can be given to a group. Now let me try to save and quit. Guys, this time I made a mistake intentionally to show you that how it catches the error. See, it says that there is a mistake or error in line number 109. What now? You can say Q, quit with errors. Or you can say E, go back and edit it. When you say E, it takes you exactly to the same line in which there is a mistake you have done. Now let me hit enter after typing E. So you see, it took me to the same line. You know what is the mistake I have done? I have ended this line with a comma. That is a syntax error. If you don't have any other command after last command, you should not put a comma. So let me go to end of the line and delete that comma. Now let me save and quit. Any problem? No problem. Let me go to one of the member of that group. See, if you run I'm sorry. This user is a part of SAP GRP. So he's a member of SAP GRP to whom we have allocated those commands. Now let me say sudo fdisk-l. See, as I have removed no password, it would definitely ask me for the password. I'll give a password. I'm able to run sudo parted-l, no problem. Sudo mount, no problem. But if I say sudo something else like pvs, it says you are not allowed to run this command. Let me say user mod. It says you're not allowed to run. You say sudo pv create, you're not allowed. So you see, I restricted these group members only till 3 commands. But one more thing is here, guys, that this group member or this particular user is trying different commands on its own. Wouldn't it be better if this user knows that how many command access have been given? He's trying on his own fdisk, parted, pvs, vgs, lvs. Instead of that, if his user knows that which commands have been allowed to me, he'll only run that command. Why would he run different set of commands then? So if a user, you want to check which commands have been granted to you as sudo, you can go for sudo-l. Now, when you run this command, you'll come to know that there are 3 commands that have been granted to you: fdisk, parted, and mount. That's how a user will come to know that how many commands have been granted to them. Now let us say that I wanted to give bunch of command to a user. Now maybe I have 10, 15 or 20 commands to give. Now, if I have to remember the paths and type it, it is going to be very hectic, isn't it? Right? See, normally when I wanted to give a set of user same commands option, I created a group, and that group I have given command access. Wouldn't it be better if I create a group of commands like that, so that whenever I have to assign a bunch of command, I'll use that group name and all commands will be allocated. So assigning a bunch of command and removing a bunch of command would be easier if I have a group kind of concept. So let us learn how to make a group of command in sudo. These are all very critical and important tasks, guys. So I'll go to vi sudo, and thanks to this file, how beautiful they have created. You see there is a concept called command aliases. So what is that command alias? Command alias is a group of related commands. So what they did, they have created certain groups. Like there is a group called networking that contains all network related commands. So if I have to give network related commands, I'll simply use the group name networking, and all the commands inside it will be allotted. Same way, I'll go for software management, service for services, locate, storage, delegation, many are them. Suppose I want to use networking alias. But guys, in current situation, you cannot use that alias. In fact, you cannot use any alias so far. Because if you observe here, this line is starting with a hash mark. Now listen to me carefully. In the configuration files, any line starting with hash will be treated as comment or inactive line. If you want to use it, you have to uncomment it. Comments are just information. They wouldn't be treated as any part of the configuration file. So if you want to make a part of configuration, first delete that hash mark at the beginning. Now, as I have deleted the comment, let me come up over here and delete it. So you see that line got activated. Now I can use this name networking to allot all the network related commands. So let me go to the bottom of the file one more time. And over here, I have SAP grp. Either you can keep those commands or I'm removing it, and I will be typing networking. As I copied the name, instead of typing, I just pasted networking, what I copied, or you can type manually in capital letters. Now let me save and quit. See, no syntax error. Go back to one of the member of that group. Last time I was only allowed to run 3 commands as U1 user or as a member of SAP grp. Now if I run sudo-l, you see it is telling me that you are now allowed to run all network related commands, which are these things. So how simple was that? That whenever you want to allot a bunch of command, you don't have to remember the path. Already aliases are there. Just activate them and use their name to allocate number of commands. Now, one more question is here. Can I make my own custom alias instead of using the configuration file defined aliases? Of course, it is very much possible, and we do that. So we'll go back to vi sudo. Now, in this particular file under command aliases, you can add a new line. For example, I'm going to add a new line. I'll put first the heading with 2 hashes. In fact, with single hash also you can put a heading, but I'm going with the 2 hashes, and let me call it custom commands. Then I'll use the same syntax. Command underscore alias name equals. Let me copy paste it instead of typing. Now I'm going to change the name of alias. Please give it in capital letters. I'm going to call it custom or whatever name you like. Then I'm going to put the commands I want. See, I would like to put RPM command. I want to put service command, comma and space is important, comma and space. Then I want to put systemctl command, comma and space. I want to put fdis command, comma and space. Whatever you want, you can put. I'm okay with 4 commands. Now let me press escape to come out of edit mode. Type shift G to go back again into the bottom. And over here, we have networking. Now with networking, I'll add a comma and space. I'll add custom group. So whatever command I have placed in custom group, that will also be assigned. Let me save and quit the file. Go back to U1. Observe, so far there were only network related command. If I now repeat sudo -l after networking, you can see there are 4 extra commands that are coming from that uh, group what you have created. So this is the way how you can create a group of your own and you can allocate whatever commands you want inside it. So already you have pre-created aliases which you can use, or you can create your own customized alias for your benefit. Now moving forward, let me show you one more thing. See, we've got one user called my user. Now as my user, you see I'm able to access all commands. Now guys, like full permission on a file or directory, all access is also little dangerous. It may be misused. See, people can say sudo vi sudo. Can they access the sudo file? Can they make new users? Can they make a user equals to root? Many things they can do. Or see, people can say sudo uh, su and they can switch into any other user account. For example, see, as a root, you can convert yourself to any user, right? So if you just check it out, you are U1. Or sometimes to get root access, in most of the Unixes, you can also say sudo su hyphen. So when you run su hyphen, you will be converted directly as a root. So that's okay. People allow this thing to happen. But in few exceptional cases, people don't want su command to work. They don't want people to convert into su. They should always run sudo access, sudo and the command, sudo and the command. They don't want people to run this su hyphen or su hyphen any username. In few cases that happens. So anyway, the example is how to restrict a command out of all commands. I want to keep all command option. Let the user be able to run all commands, but there are few certain commands that I want to block. 99% all commands I want to allow except 1 or 2 or 3 commands. So how to block specific commands out of all? You need to first find the path, which vi sudo and which su. Suppose these 2 commands I want to block. So I'll just copy this path usr spin vi sudo and usr bin su. I'll go to vsudo and to the place where I have my user. Now my user has been granted all command access. That's fine. I'll give a comma and the command that you want to block, you must use an exclamatory symbol before the command. You remember in etc shadow when exclamatory come, the password was blocked. So same way, if you want to lock or restrict any command, give it with an exclamatory mark, right? First command, and then the second command, USR bin SU. It was not SBin, so it is USR bin SU. If you want only a specific user, then you can say SU hyphen, for example, U3. So only for that user you cannot switch, other users you can switch. But I want to block total switch user command. Save and quit. No errors. Let's go back to root. Let me run sudo fdisk-l. I'm my user. I'm having all commands access. Sudo parted-l. No problem. Sudo route. No problem. Sudo pvs. Sudo lvs. No problem. All commands are working. But if I say sudo vi sudo, says no, you're not allowed to run this command. Sudo su hyphen or sudo su hyphen u3 u2 or u1, it won't allow you to convert. So this is how you can work with this vi sudo concept. See more about this you can learn by reading etc sudoers file. If you go to etc sudoers file, you will be able to get more information, more examples over there. But what I have shown you, those are more than enough. In any environment, these are the maximum things what people does. Beyond that, options are there. Maybe you want, you can learn it, but how much they are useful, how much they are used, that is not guaranteed. But whatever I have shown you up till this much, these are the most important things what a Linux admin should know to allow or block a user access in different areas in your Linux environment. So that is it, guys. I just wanted to take a smaller session today also. So we'll stop the session here. Before that, you can ask any questions or doubts if you're having so far with the topic or any previous topic. So seems there are no questions. That's fine, no problem. We'll stop this session here. And tomorrow, then day after tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, we won't be having any class. Next class will be on Monday. So see you on Monday, guys. Thank you very much.